Donald Trump arrives at Ryder Cup with granddaughter Kai, but USA endures nightmare start at Bethpage. American golf fans called for Donald Trump to tee it up during his hasty visit to the Ryder Cup on Friday afternoon following a nightmare start for Team USA. Less than a week after the memorial for his close political ally Charlie Kirk, the president defiantly stepped into the limelight once again as he arrived at Bethpage Black in Farmingdale, New York. The Republican, 79, has refused to be cowed in the wake of the death of the political commentator, who was shot dead at 31 during a Q&A session at Utah Valley University, ramping up his public appearances instead of scaling them back. And Friday's opening day of the Ryder Cup was no exception as Trump turned up to support America's finest in their clash against holders Europe in the Battle of Bethpage. Fresh off his 60-minute blistering address to the United Nations this week, Trump retreated to the suburbs of Long Island, where he was greeted by cries of USA and even calls to pick up his own golf clubs to represent the struggling American team. Already wearing his golf shoes with his signature suit, Trump, joined by his 18-year-old granddaughter Kai, boarded Marine One on the White House lawn close to 10 a.m. Eastern Time to begin his journey to Bethpage. He touched down at the iconic golf course just over an hour later and took center stage at the first tee for this afternoon's session of matches between the USA and Europe, which began at 12:25 p.m. Eastern Time. He walked out onto the grandstand behind the first tee box to raucous chants of USA from the New York supporters in attendance. Trump greeted a line of dignitaries gathered on the platform as Kai whipped up the American heavy crowd before the duo took their position inside a glass box for the national anthem. The president would have been hoping to inspire his American team to a better performance than the morning's disastrous display. Team USA, led by Captain Keegan Bradley, endured a nightmare opening session as the Europeans stormed to a commanding 3-1 lead. But Bradley certainly believed the president could rally his side to a comeback. "We've just had the president fly over on Air Force One. I have a feeling things are about to turn here," Bradley said on USA Network's broadcast shortly after Air Force One flew over Bethpage at around 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And the U.S. captain fully embraced the president's attendance, performing the Trump dance, the arm-jerking, hip-shimmying movements made popular during Trump's presidential campaign last year, in front of the commander-in-chief on the first tee. Much to the likely panic of the horde of Secret Service on site, Trump left the safety of his glass box to accompany golfer and ally Bryson DeChambeau out onto the tee for the American and teammate Ben Griffin's match against Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose. After watching all four groups tee off in the final matches of the day, the president made a hasty exit from Bethpage, boarding Air Force One at 2:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Overnight, the protective box of Perspex glass had been erected at center of the lowest tier of the towering grandstand that looms over the first tee and neighboring 18th green. The president soaked up the action from the shielded area just 20 feet away from the players' entrance tunnel. That's what we can say. Don't forget to support our channel by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. We thank you all for your support.